Hello, this is Thomas, K4SWL, and if you're new here, I like to do real-time, real-life amateur radio field activation videos. And today, I'm at Lake Norman State Park here in the Piedmont of North Carolina. It's warm, probably pushing about 88 degrees Fahrenheit. It's very humid, but as you can see, I've pretty much got the picnic area to myself, which is kind of surprising. It's a Monday morning. Actually, it's almost noon now. It's about 11:37 a.m. local, and I have already set up my equipment. In fact, I just finished a little video I made about doing CW exchanges in Parks on the Air, so about standard CW exchanges. So I just finished that video, and now I'm doing the actual activation. Now, I've deployed an antenna that should really help me today, hopefully. It is the Chameleon sloper antenna that's resonant on a bunch of bands. It takes a little bit longer to set this up, maybe twice as long. I don't even know if it's quite twice as long to set up as one of my NFAD antennas. But basically, it's up there probably about 45 feet or so in the tree. And it has a line running out. And I've attached it way over to a tree over there. And so it makes for a nice sloping antenna. It is touching a tree branch. I'm not too worried about that. I don't think it'll affect resonance that much. But conditions, according to my buddy Mike, are pretty crappy today. So I'm going to keep my expectations in check here as we play radio. I have brought out the Mission RGO1 transceiver. People have been asking about this one, and it is one of my favorite transceivers. I really love this radio for a lot of reasons. One of which is that it's got such a nice, simple design. Big encoder, nice, easy to read display. I don't know how this comes out on the video, but this is a very easy to read display, to be honest. It's unlike all my other field radios, this one's kind of a legacy design. You know, you have like a big encoder on the front, wide space buttons, a top-mounted speaker. There's a bail underneath, and it has a SO239 jack on the back for an antenna, and then power pole connectors for power. This particular transceiver is made in Bulgaria, and I think it's available as a kit and one that's pre-assembled. They're made in very small production batches. I reviewed this radio last year. In fact, I'll put a link to the video, to the link of the review at the SWLing post. If I can think about it, I'll put it up here. If not, it's going to be in the description below, or in my, there'll definitely be a link in my field report later. All depends on how quickly all this video comes together. I'm using a Bioenno 15 amp hour battery, which is really overkill for this radio. It's very, very efficient, but this goes much higher than QRP power. It'll go all the way up to 50, even 55 watts on some bands, which is nice when you need a little extra power. I'll be running it at 5 watts today doing CW, which actually works really well for me. Hopefully I can make my activation up. If I've got time, I'll try to add some phone in there as well, because I do have internet service here, so I should be able to spot myself. Also, something very new today, and I'm using it for the very first time, is this new CW Moore's single lever paddle. Now, this was sent to me by a reader, Mike, AD8EV, who goes by Ted Mack on YouTube. He very kindly sent me this. Actually, at the same time, another reader, Nathan, I believe, had sent me one that's a different color. And they both noticed that I probably would do better with a single lever paddle. And I do like single lever paddles because I don't actually use a lot of iambic keying. So these two paddles are not separate paddles, they are one. So when I move it does that. It's not, these are not paddles, I can't squeeze them. I really love this paddle, and I think that this one's actually probably going to live with my TX500. It looks good. It looks good with it. And thank you so much, Mike. That was very thoughtful of you. I really appreciate this. CW Morse makes really nice field paddles, and they're affordable and they work well. There are a lot of paddles and keys out there. I find that there's just really kind of hit a sweet spot in terms of price and performance and just usability. So anyway, I probably need to hop on the air here and get things going. It's especially since I've kind of used a lot of my activation time making this other video for Reader about standard exchanges. And I'll try to get all this in the image here. Let's see. We need to move this around a little bit. Here we go. I like to make it so that you can see the paddles and you can see when I'm writing down, and hopefully you can see this even though the sun's kind of shining here on me right now. Off to the side, I've actually got my Microsoft Surface Go tablet, and I'm using AC log from N3FJP. I like the amateur contact log. However, I've got to admit, I'm going to start trying to use the Hammers, HAMRS application. I bought it, I've put it on my phone. I'm just not going to try it today, but I'll probably try it at my next activation and see if I can't log everything to my phone during the activation. That will save having to bring an extra tablet out with me, even though it'll be a little bit more to fiddle with my phone. I'm not very good at typing on a phone. So anyway, let's check and see what that sun's doing. I think the sun will probably move out of the way here in a minute. Let's check to make sure no one's on frequency. Let me check the power output. The power is set to 5 watts. See, I'm getting about a 1 to 5 to 1 right now, and that's with this sloper deployed, touching a branch of another tree and everything else. You hear how quiet this receiver is. The band, unfortunately, today is a little quiet. Other than QRN, you may hear some static crashes and things, but I love the Mission RGO one. It has really, really nice performance characteristics, and I tend to not bring this to the field because it's hooked up in the shack so much. I use this as a shack radio a lot, and really do love it. You know, if you know me, I tend to operate QRP, and so I don't really need anything above 5 watts or 10 watts in the field, but I do love this radio and look for any excuse to use it. Has nice QSK. It's a great radio for CW operators. So anyway, let me spot myself to the network. I may actually have I actually have myself I have my call sign and everything set up, and it has memory playback that I can do. So I was just checking to make sure it works. So I'm going to go in here, add a spot. Let's see, K4SWL, frequency is 7063. Park reference is K-2740, I believe. Let me double check this. 2740, yep. Comments, I don't know, CW. I'll put in CW. Sometimes it requires comments, sometimes it doesn't. I'm going to spot myself. Here we go. There, let's just take this and get this going. Sorry, I'm getting a phone call as I'm doing this. Here we go. Do you think the bands are kind of bad today? Let me send a text to my buddy Mike so he knows to look for me on here. Mike and Eric, at least. I hope the side tone's loud enough that you can hear it. I have this set up with a side tone kind of that's comfortable. With the side tones comfortable in the shack. I think I accidentally, when I did that, whoops, I do this, I'm bad about doing this. Okay, let's see here. What I may do right now is, yeah, I'm gonna tune it. And the reason I'm tuning it is the trees are moving around, and I noticed that it kind of messed up the SWR. Now the RGO 1 can handle that. I did it again. The RGO 1 can handle that, no problem. A 3-to-1 is really not that big of a deal, and I'm still getting out and everything, but I like the transceiver to be happy, so I just hit the ATU to kind of null that out. That's one of the great things about having an ATU is you can get a little bit better impedance match sometimes when things aren't ideal. I should say that Max, WG4Z, had noticed that in the previous video when I was using a single lever paddle, I was kind of clicking it really loudly. Sorry. Ugh. Okay. So I was logging. Listen how those signals just pop out of this radio. This receiver's so quiet. I mean, you just hear a little QRN in there, a little bit of static crashes and things. I'm not even operating any sort of DSP or anything, just a narrow filter, and it sounds wonderful. That's the great thing about this Mission RGO one. It has just very good characteristics. And I've got to say, the sloper antenna is kicking butt today, because I was not expecting to get much of anything. And just like last time when there were bad conditions and I used the sloper, it's actually doing a really good job of, like, all the signals I'm hearing are pretty loud, actually. Whoops. It's a little tricky. Like, I've talked to Boris at Mission RGO 1 about improving the delay using these keys to do memory keying, because sometimes I'll accidentally knock the band down one, or I do other things like that and kind of mess it up. But by and large, works pretty well. So I'm at 7 right now. That's not too bad. 7 in, 9 minutes? I can't complain about that. I may move up to another band here in a little bit. So, as I was saying earlier, I'm bad about getting that mechanical feedback when I'm hitting a key, and I drum my fingers and things like that, and I think I start doing that with CW, so you'll hear me send CW like this. And that'll make a lot of extra click. I like that swing. So it's really... So any mechanical noises you're hearing... Okay, sorry. All the mechanical noises you're hearing from this are coming from me hitting it too hard. It's not coming from the key itself having a loud sound or anything like that. It's just how I smack it around. I'm really bad to do that. If I'm on my own, I'm really loud with these, to be honest. The mechanical feedback almost kind of helps me with my CW. Okay, let's try this. Let's move up. We'll move up to the 30-meter band here for a little bit. Actually, you know what? Let's do phone. I haven't thought about this. Let's do phone and give that a go. 40 meters, single sideband. But before I do that, let me get my phone out here and check for spots to do a park to park. Let's see. 7043. Let's see, I think that may be AA3K. Yeah. Let him work that person first. They are in Hickory Run State Park in Pennsylvania. I can't believe how strong these signals are coming in, but that has a lot to do with the antenna and having a really good receiver in this radio. Sometimes when you're hunting from the field, it takes a little while longer. Now, I can move up my power a little bit because you know what? I've already gotten my first 10, which is what my goal is to always do my first 10 with 5 watts or less. Now, I think I went into the... I think they... Yay! Okay, AA3K. Now I've got him as a park to park. It's a P2P. So what I want to do is in my logs on the side here, I'm putting in their information for their park, which is Kilo. Let me see, and I'm picking this up off Kilo 1359. There we go. There we go. Let's get that in there. And let's see if anybody is on the single sideband side of things. And I may try to do a little single sideband. You know, I've got it up to 20 watts. I may just do it at 20 watts this time when I do single sideband. Well, let's see. There's another. Let's see if somebody's on 49 here. Now, I'm just going to go ahead and move up to, let's try 7188 and see if anybody's there. It doesn't sound like it right now. Change the mode to single sideband. There we go. I don't need the filter on. You know, I'm going to hit tune again, and this is mainly because I can't remember what process I go through to disengage the tuner on this, because it doesn't really need it with this antenna. But if it's making any adjustment at all, it's very, very, very minimal. Is this frequency in use? This is Kilo 4 Sierra Whiskey Lima. Is this frequency in use? This is Kilo 4 Sugar Whiskey Lima. Now here's where I'll probably not do as well with my logging. Something about doing voice, I forget to log it down here very much and tend to just log it straight to the computer. CQ-POTA, this is Kilo 4 Sierra Whiskey Lima calling CQ for Parks on the Air. Let me spot myself. CQ-POTA, this is Kilo 4 Sierra Whiskey Lima calling CQ for Parks on the Air. This thing's acting a little funky. I'm going to have to see. Yeah, it is spotting me. CQ-POTA, this is Kilo 4 Sierra Whiskey Lima calling CQ for Parks on the Air. CQ-POTA, this is Kilo 4 Sierra Whiskey Lima calling CQ for Parks on the Air. Now I'm operating at about
Delta 5, Delta Yankee.
Kilo Delta 5, Delta Yankee. You are strong. You're coming in here 5x9 plus into park number 2740. QSL,
North Central Mississippi, Starkville, and you're 5-5, Roger.
Roger on the 5-5. Thank you so much for the contact, my friend. You're sounding good here in North Carolina today. 7-3s and good luck.
Roger. You went up to 5-7 then, and you have a blessed day. Katie Pie DD Wycliffe.
QRZ, this is Kilo 4 Sierra Whiskey Lima for Parks on the Air. CQ-POTA, this is Kilo 4 Sierra Whiskey Lima calling CQ for Parks on the Air. That is not bad from the home of MFJ, I believe. CQ-POTA, this is Kilo 4 Sierra Whiskey Lima calling CQ for Parks on the Air. CQ-POTA, CQ Parks on the Air. This is Kilo 4 Sierra Whiskey Lima calling CQ for Parks on the Air. CQ-POTA, this is Kilo 4 Sierra Whiskey Lima calling CQ for Parks on the Air. Let me send a message to my buddy Mike. CQ-POTA, this is Kilo 4 Sierra Whiskey Lima calling CQ for Parks on the Air. CQ-POTA, this is Kilo 4 Sierra Whiskey Lima calling CQ for Parks on the Air. Now there's no voice message memory in here, so I can't do like I can do with the 705 or my KX2 or my KX3. But that's okay. CQ POTA, this is Kilo 4, Sierra Whiskey Lima calling CQ for Parks on the Air. I could crank this up to 55 watts if I wanted to. I think the antenna can definitely take it, but CQ POTA, this is Kilo 4, Sierra Whiskey Lima calling CQ for Parks on the Air. CQ POTA, this is Kilo 4, Sierra Whiskey Lima calling CQ for Parks on the Air. CQ POTA, this is Kilo 4, Sierra Whiskey Lima calling CQ for Parks on the Air.
Uniform Papa.
The Uniform Papa station, come back.
Roger, the call here is Kilowatt X-Ray 3, Uniform Papa. Kilowatt X-Ray 3, Uniform Papa. The name is Bob. Bravo, Oscar Bravo. TTH is Delaware, Delta Echo. And I have your call as Kilo 4, Sierra Whiskey Lima. And you were 59 plus 10 in the Delaware, QSL?
QSL, my friend, thank you so much for the contact and for the good signal report. There's a lot of QS Baker going on today, but in the peaks, you're almost at a 5.9 here at park number 2740. That's Lake Norman State Park here in North Carolina. Thank you so much for the contact, and I hope you have a great day.
Thank you for taking my call, and I wish you and your family best wishes, and 73s to you. KX3 UP clear.
Thank you, sir. 7-3s, and have a great week. This is Kilo 4, Sierra Whiskey Lima, QRZ. CQ POTA, this is Kilo 4, Sierra Whiskey Lima, calling CQ for Parks on the Air. Kilowatt 8, Romeo Alpha Tango. Mike, you're coming in probably about a 5x6, 5x7 here at Park 2740. You're sounding great, though. How am I sounding up there in Ohio?
Very good, Thomas. It's hot up here, too. You're 5'6" in Ohio, 5'6". Keep it up. Have a great outing.
Roger. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for the spots and for following me around here today. I'm going to play a little bit longer, and then I'll hop off because I do want to fit in a hike today, if I possibly can. Hey, 7-3s, my friend. Take care. QRZ, this is Kilo 4, Sierra Whiskey Lima for Parks on the Air.
Kilo Echo 8, Papa X-Ray. Kilo Echo 8, Papa X-Ray.
Kilo Echo 8, Papa X-Ray, you are 5x9 here at park number 2740. QSL?
Roger, Thomas. You're also a 5'9", 59 into Ohio. And name is Ron, Romeo Oscar November. Thank you for activating today, 73.
Hey, thank you very much for it, my friend. I hope you have a wonderful week. It's kind of a warm one down here, but it's a beautiful day to be playing Parks on the Air, so any excuse to go outdoors. 7-3s, my friend, and thanks for chasing me.
Good luck to you, Tom.
QRZ, this is Kilo 4, Sierra Whiskey Lima for Parks on the Air. CQ POTA, this is Kilo 4, Sierra Whiskey Lima calling CQ for Parks on the Air. CQ POTA, this is Kilo 4, Sierra Whiskey Lima calling CQ for Parks on the Air. CQ POTA, this is Kilo 4, Sierra Whiskey Lima calling CQ for Parks on the Air. This is about the cadence I like to do CQs in voice. CQ POTA, this is Kilo 4, Sierra Whiskey Lima calling CQ for Parks on the Air. You don't want to draw out the CQ forever. Sometimes with QS Baker going on, it leaves a little bit more of an opening, I think, for people to come in and grab you. CQ POTA, this is Kilo 4, Sierra Whiskey Lima calling CQ for Parks on the Air. And like they may not hear that call, but then when I come back 4 or 5 seconds later with CQ POTA, this is Kilo 4, Sierra Whiskey Lima calling CQ for Parks on the Air. They may hear that one. And on days like today, and there's definitely some fading going on, that can really help. CQ POTA, this is Kilo 4, Sierra Whiskey Lima calling CQ for Parks on the Air. CQ POTA, CQ POTA. This is Kilo 4, Sierra Whiskey Lima calling CQ for Parks on the Air. CQ POTA, CQ POTA. This is Kilo 4, Sierra Whiskey Lima calling CQ for Parks on the Air. I may call it quits here in just a little bit. Video is about at 45 minutes. CQ POTA, CQ POTA. This is Kilo 4, Sierra Whiskey Lima calling CQ for Parks on the Air. And I'm also getting a little hungry. I kind of want lunch. Trying to debate if I should eat my lunch before I take my 1 hour hike or after. Probably after. Probably makes sense to do it after. CQ POTA, CQ POTA. This is Kilo 4, Sierra Whiskey Lima calling CQ for Parks on the Air. CQ POTA, CQ POTA. This is Kilo 4, Sierra Whiskey Lima calling CQ for Parks on the Air. Alpha Alpha 5, Uniform Zulu. You've got a great signal about 5 by 7 here at Park 2740 QSL.
Into part number 2720. Thank you so much. It's kind of up and down here in Louisiana, but on the high points, 55 into Pearl River, Louisiana. Thank you so very much for the contact today, 72.
Thank you very much for the contact as well. Always good to put you in the logs, and stay cool out there. These are getting to be warm days even up here in North Carolina. Hey, 7-3, thanks for chasing me and have a wonderful week. This is Kilo 4, Sierra Whiskey Lima. Okay, so I'm going to call it quits here. This is Kilo 4, Sierra Whiskey Lima with one final call for Parks on the Air. Now, to make it fair, I'll do a CQ. CQ POTA, CQ POTA. This is Kilo 4, Sierra Whiskey Lima with my final call for Parks on the Air. Okay, this is Kilo 4, Sierra Whiskey Lima, and I am QRT. I like to add that I'm QRT. Let's turn that off now. I like to add that I'm QRT when I'm doing this, but you don't have to. People don't often hear you because if they did, they'd probably answer you. But I can't tell you how many times I've called QRT when I've had the bands really quiet and it ended up getting 2 more people because maybe they were just kind of waiting around to answer. So anyway, I need to pack up and hopefully fit in a little hike here. I'm looking forward to doing that. And I'm happy to have, let's see what I've got in here, a total of 16 contacts in the logs. Yeah, not too bad. You may notice that when I log things for Parks on the Air and for SOTA, I don't really worry about the signal report. I always just copy it as a 599. In the field, it's not like being in the shack where I can kind of take the detailed time to put in the signal reports. If somebody really needs one, I can actually go back and look up and see what I have on a video if I need to do that, but usually the signal report's less important than actually just making the contact. And honestly, the Parks on the Air network, all they really care about is the contact. They care about your park number. They care about the time and the date of each contact, the mode, and the meter band. That's all they really care about. They don't really need all the other details that come in the logs. They don't use any of those. But anyway, thank you once again for joining me here today, and I'm going to pack up this antenna, which actually packs up really quickly. One more time, I'm very pleased with this thing. The sloper is not the easiest to put up if you have a really dense kind of forest area, because as you can see, you have like a radiator that comes down. It needs to have a kind of a clear spot and be tied off at a tree, and this is tied off at a tree probably 30 yards from here. But it's such a great performer. I'm convinced if I was using a compromised antenna today, it would have been a little more work to do this. So I'm very grateful. This Chameleon sloper's nice. And if you want any link to that or to any of the other equipment I'm using here today, including the review of this radio, the Mission RGO 1, I'll have all of that in my notes in the accompanying post in qrpr.com, and there'll be a link to this below. If you like this channel and you kind of want to support me, you can do so by subscribing. That kind of gives me an idea of how many people are watching the videos. In truth, as you may have noticed, there are no ads in this video. I don't really monetize it at all. YouTube bugs me about doing it, and they keep telling me about which videos perform better than others. I don't really care. I don't pay attention to the statistics. I kind of keep a vague idea of how many subscribers I have. That's about it. I never intend for this to be a high-ranking YouTube video for the ham radio world. I just don't have that kind of content that appeals to a market that big. I'm happy if I'm encouraging even one person to get out in the field and play radio. And I love your comments. You guys are so incredibly kind. If you do want to support me financially, you can buy me a cup of coffee through the PayPal link. I'll have it also below, or join us on Patreon. I use those funds to pay for the website, qrpr.com. I also use it for travel funds, for going to radio events, for buying review equipment, and all those good things. And I really appreciate your support. Never feel like you have to do that. This content will always be free, and it'll just, but it helps me out. And it helps pay the bills, and allows me to kind of go out there and grab some review equipment, which I really enjoy. So thank you again for all the support, and I hope you're able to get out this week and enjoy a little field radio fun. Until next time, 7 threes.